أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Welcome to Conscious Reminders. Jazakumullah khair for joining me on this video. Today is the 2nd of April 2018, and for those of you who know, and for those of you who don't know, unfortunately here in the UK we've had this incredibly ignorant letter that's been spreading around the past week or so, subhanallah, or even a month. I think it's been going on for that there's this stupid event that's going to take place called Punish a Muslim Day, which is on the 3rd of April, which is tomorrow. Now we've already had prior to this date, which is tomorrow, loads of attacks. We've had one brother who's been stabbed. I think it was in Leicester. We've had one yesterday. We've had an acid attack on some brothers in East London, on Roman Road, subhanallah. And I'm sure there's plenty more that I'm not even aware of, subhanallah. Then you also have to keep in mind there's probably cases that hasn't been documented, or yani, subhanallah. First, I just want to say, may Allah protect our ummah and keep us steadfast, and to increase us in courage, because the shaitan, he wants us to become weak. He wants us to cower in the sight of the enemies of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. When I say enemies, not necessarily soldiers in the battlefield. I mean anyone who seeks to harm Muslims, harm anyone, to destroy the harmony of the system that Allah has created, to skew Islam, to defame Islam in any way. Those people are the enemies of Allah, the enemies of Islam alike. But I also want to say, before the shaitan fills your head with too much, just too much bad stuff, that the majority of non-Muslims here in the UK are good people. Okay, this is my opinion, obviously, subhanallah. They're not all evil people. I mean, where I live here, most people have been nice to me, subhanallah. I've never had someone call me a nigger, or someone call me a paki, or call me a sand nigger, or whatever. I've never had anyone insult me or call me an Arab or turban head, or whatever they want to call me, subhanallah. They may, I don't know what's in their hearts, I don't know what's in their minds, subhanallah. They may think it. They might be like, I hate that guy or whatever. But if that was the case, that's in the hands of Allah, because I don't see it, and I can't see what's in the hearts of people. Okay, I really want to just get that out of the way. There's a lot of stuff going around on WhatsApp and on social media like Instagram, giving people advice what to do. There are some people who are like, you know what, on that day, stay at home, don't go anywhere. Keep yourself safe, which I think is a good thing and a bad thing at the same time. Because you have to understand something. Since the beginning of Islam 1400 years ago, even our Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, Muslims have always been harmed, persecuted, because as we know, the heart that's weak, that has no connection, no fitrah, no connection to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, will always try to deny the truth. Subhanallah, our Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam was attacked when giving da'wah. Subhanallah, he was harmed in the battlefield. Subhanallah, many stories of our scholars who have been beaten for trying to speak the truth, in prison. Some of them have died in prison. Many of our scholars are in prison today, subhanallah. What I do advise, subhanallah, is to be cautious. You have to live your life. There's nothing you can do about it. The reality is, and I'm speaking about Muslims who live in the West, is that we are a minority. We will always be a minority in the West until Isa alayhi salam comes, and he comes and he establishes the truth. But until then, because Muslims are scattered around the world, all in all four corners of the earth, subhanallah, we're not united under one banner, one flag, one amir, one leader or whatever. Because we are scattered, subhanallah, we're always going to be a minority in most countries. especially Western countries. So we have to keep that in mind. Secondly, we need to be strong together. We gotta, we can't. There's a lot of divide within our communities, whether be it racism, class, wealth, whatever, health. Allah musta'an. But in this case, we need to stay together. Actually, in every case, we should always be together. We should completely annihilate those reasons to divide ourselves. But the enemies of Allah, they will use everything in their arsenal to destroy us. And they've already divided us. They've created borders between most of the lands that the previous caliphates have kept together. Subhanallah. Now you have when subhanallah, India, Bangladesh and Pakistan was one country, subhanallah, the Hind, now it's three, and they have their disputes and they have their racism and they have whatever. And the same thing with Africa. Most of the North African lands were just one land, with different tribes, but now they have borders, and subhanallah, there's racism between people who look almost exactly like each other, but they're under all this nationalism and so forth. The people who are here, so coming back to the UK, the people here in the UK who are trying to harm Muslims, who are trying to, Allahumma salli wa sallam ala Sayyidina Muhammad, destroy the name of Allah, destroy the name of Islam. Obviously, they could never do that, but they are trying. These are the ignorant. They are like the lowest of the lowest. Imagine a big barrel of feces, right? They're not even that. They are right at the bottom. That bacteria that grows right at the bottom, of that barrel of feces, that's what they are, okay? They have absolutely no knowledge of nothing. These are the unemployed, unintelligent, uneducated people who actually scream, oh, immigrants, go back to your home because you've taken all our jobs. These are the people that if every immigrant in this country was to leave this country, okay, every Muslim was to leave this country, every immigrant was to leave this country, they would still stay unemployed and they will still try to find another person to complain about, subhanallah. And that's their culture and that's their mentality and that's their ignorance, subhanallah. And I want you to just understand that the best way to battle these people is A, to have tawakkul on Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, keep making dua, stay steadfast. Number two, but to also be vigilant, okay? Because like I said, we are a minority here, subhanallah. And it's not like we have the government on our side or the media, subhanallah, because we know we're we don't have anything but Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and each other, subhanallah. So we need to keep that in mind. So stay vigilant, stay safe. And I've said this before, subhanallah, but I feel like it just goes through one ear and out the other. As much as we want to say that, we live in the West, it's peaceful here, it's more peaceful than, like, say, Somalians living in Somalia, or Eritreans living in Eritrea, or living in Kashmir, where, or Palestine, where there's loads of riots and, people being oppressed or something, or in Syria or Yemen and so forth. The reality is, subhanallah, is because, like I mentioned before, we are a minority. We have to defend ourselves, and we do that by, one, educating ourselves, okay, about our surroundings, about our religion, first and foremost, obviously. Secondly, to become strong physically, to build a healthy, strong body, subhanallah, and to not be naive and ignorant. Another thing I've been hearing online is families advising their daughters and their women to take off their hijab tomorrow. Listen, you need to fear Allah, okay? If your fear of these cowardly people is greater than the fear of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, then there's a problem. They have defeated you already. If your fear of them is the creation greater than the creator, then they have defeated you already, subhanallah. Tomorrow, take it as any normal day, subhanallah. Because if you take it like, oh, this is a big thing, subhanallah, then what happens? They will nationalize that. They will mentally nationalize that date. So every year, that date is going to be Punish a Muslim Day, which sounds stupid because this country will never accept it, obviously, subhanallah. But I'm just saying, you need to have tawakkul on Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Don't take off your hijabs. Don't shave off your beards. Don't take days off from work. Obviously, be vigilant, subhanallah. If an enemy has sent you a letter saying, I'm going to harm you on this day, subhanallah, you obviously prepare yourself for that day, okay? You get yourself ready and prepared, because I'm sorry, I'm going to be completely and utterly honest, okay? I'm not an extremist or anything like that, but the whole world, is at war with Islam. Okay, that's just how it is. They're trying to, subhanallah, destroy our image. They're trying to destroy our culture. They're trying to say Sharia law is evil. They're subhanallah, trying to take our children away from us because they're trying to tell us that we're raising them the wrong way. Subhanallah, they're trying to tell us that they're trying to force us into believing in what they believe. But we have, the surah, the chapter in the Quran, Surah Al-Kafirun, chapter of the disbelievers. قُلْ يَا أَيُّهَا الْكَافِرُونَ لَا أَعْبُدْ مَا تَعْبُدُونَ. Subhanallah. Tell the kafirun that we don't believe in what you believe. Subhanallah. And it's as simple as that. And at the end it ends with lakum dinakum waliya din. You have your faith and I have mine. And that is exactly what we have to uphold. Subhanallah. You have your way of life, I have my way of life. We can respect each other, we can respect each other's laws and so forth. But we have our laws, we have our traditions, we have our faith, subhanallah, and we have to uphold to that, inshallah ta'ala. This event tomorrow is one of many that's going to come until the end of time. Okay, Yawm al-Qiyamah. Yawm al-Qiyamah is the day of reckoning, the day of resurrection, subhanallah. There is so many signs of the day of judgment that relates to what's happening to Muslims today in the West and in the rest of the world. There's one that in particular where there's a hadith of our Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam which says one of the signs of the day of judgment is when the whole world will come together and attack the Muslimin as if a people have come to a plate or come to a table where they eat food. So you just imagine the Muslims are all on a plate and the whole rest of the world are just grabbing and eating, and that's how they will destroy us, subhanallah. And that's one of the signs, and that's what's happening right now. Look at us, we're like a tiny little portion of minority here in the UK, and people can just, we don't know who's the enemy because they all look like each other, subhanallah. You don't know who's who and what's what. It's not like the enemy is a purple person. All these purple people are gonna, so we can see when we see purple coming on our way, we can be sort of we can put our guard up. But that's not the case, subhanallah. Someone can harm you from behind, from the top, from the left, from the bottom, subhanallah, and you wouldn't know it. But the thing is, Allah has already warned us. If you have knowledge of the deen, you would know that this is the warning from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. You have to be vigilant, you have to be prepared, but also not to forget to have tawakkul in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Look, I'm not going to, I don't have a solution. I'm not here saying to you, okay, listen, watch this video. We know there's this problem, but hey, guess what? I got this solution for you. Take this pill 3 times a day and you'll be safe. So I don't have that for you. All I have for you is for you to educate yourself about Islam so that your connection, your tawakkul with Allah will become stronger. For you to educate yourself about your surroundings. If you live in America, educate yourself about America. Don't be like this naive person like, well, America's the land of freedom and opportunity. And like, no, please, don't diss the flag and blah, blah. The reality is that there is so much segregation. Well, this is just America, right? We can talk about every single country in the world. You have an incredibly pompous, ignorant, racist, Islamophobic, leader, Donald Trump. I'll say it, and I hope YouTube's algorithm picks that word up, subhanallah. And you have so many people in that country who are being oppressed by him and by even other societies oppressing each other. All you have to do is trust in Allah, be prepared, because our Prophet Muhammad ﷺ has taught us to always be prepared, okay? To build your strength physically, mentally, and emotionally. Remember your izzah, your honor. Allah has honored you with Islam. Don't take your hijab off for nobody. But obviously, don't go out in the area is where the enemy will be on your own. Travel with someone the best you can, bi'idhnillah ta'ala. Obviously, not everyone has someone to travel with. Be smart, be streetwise, subhanallah. Be prepared. The person who will most likely get hurt is the naive person. The person who thinks, well, you know what? I don't care. Nothing's going to happen to me. No, you need to be prepared. This is the world that we live in, and unfortunately, this is the world that we're going to be living in until the end of time. It is what it is. In fact, the first sign of the Day of Judgment is the existence of Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. From the moment he was born, that was the first sign, subhanallah. And he put up two fingers like this. He says, that's how close we are from now, from the time that he was born, or from the time that he mentioned the hadith, to the time that to Yawm al-Qiyamah. He said that's how close it is, subhanallah. And we are just part of the evidence of what Allah has mentioned to him to tell us about the signs of Yawm al-Qiyamah. Anyways, I don't make this too long because I'm looking here at my time. 15 minutes, subhanallah. I just wanted you to understand that we are Muslim. Allah has honored us with that Islam. We are strong, but we should strengthen ourselves. We should prepare ourselves mentally, physically, emotionally, spiritually, subhanallah. Okay, don't let anyone make you feel weak. Don't let anyone make you feel insignificant. Okay, at the same time, don't be pompous. Don't be arrogant. Subhanallah, just because Allah has honored us with Islam, it doesn't mean that we step on other people. Okay, we have to love and respect everyone else. Just like Allah has loved us and honored us with Islam, we have to also show that love to people who may not be Muslim, who may be ignorant, and obviously try to give them da'wah and bring them close. But obviously when I say show love and respect to the ignorant, I don't mean show love and respect to your enemy. If someone wants to cause harm to you, then you get yourself ready. Subhanallah, you defend yourself. Subhanallah. And if you knew, subhanallah, did you know that the one who dies defending himself, defending his family, and defending his property, dies as a shaheed. And subhanallah, that's a great honor from Allah, which in itself lets you know that you have to protect yourself, you have to protect your family, and you have to protect your honor. I'll end with that, inshallah ta'ala. May Allah protect you, protect us all, protect our ummah, ameen, because we are being attacked everywhere, subhanallah. We have to stay strong. We need to educate ourselves about the deen, because how do we know what to do if we don't know, we don't know anything about Islam, subhanallah. Like how did people know how to make fire unless Allah gave them that knowledge? Now we have the Quran and the Sunnah. So go educate yourself, inshallah. Stay strong, inshallah. Barakallahu feekum. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.